Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us today. I just wanted to mention really briefly before we start, if you have any questions at all during the presentation, there is a box up in the corner, depending on how you're viewing this webinar, that says Q&A. You can type your question in there and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce now Mr. Robert Barton, and he'll be kicking us off.
Good morning, and welcome to today's Career College webinar. My name is Bob Martin. I'm the president of the Imagine America Foundation. The foundation is a Washington, D.C. based foundation, 501c3. We're actually located in the Northern Virginia area. We're happy to welcome all of our guests from the state of California. You're bringing a little bit of warmth to us. It's about 6 degrees out here now. It's unbelievable. This is the 6th webinar that we've done in this series showcasing automotive careers. For those participants that may be unfamiliar with Imagine America, the foundation was actually provided to provide career guidance and assistance to today's high school seniors, and we were created in 1982. We've been providing scholarship support to graduating high school seniors in our scholarship program since 1999, and I'm very pleased to say that we've to date have helped over 100,000 graduating high school seniors enroll and get financial assistance to one of our participating career colleges. Today's program is going to showcase Universal Technical Institute. I'm going to save a lot of time and try to move right into the presentation because I know your time is very valuable. I urge any of the participants on this call that might be interested in more information on the foundation to simply go to our website at www.imagine-america.org. Automotive technology programs have been some of the most popular programs since our creation in 1999. Currently, our country faces an unprecedented serious shortage of certified automotive technicians. We here at the foundation hear from employers all the time talking about the need for more qualified people and the lack of those qualified people. Our partner today is Universal Technical Institute. Universal Technical Institute, UTI, is one of the premier automotive education providers in the United States, with campuses located throughout the U.S. and one right there in Los Angeles. Joining me today to discuss in detail the looming automotive technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet that need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area. He is a frequent speaker and presenter at state, regional, and national career and trade education conventions and workshops, with extensive background and training in the K-12 area. Before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me go through today's agenda. 30 minutes will be the length of the webinar. We will stop at approximately 10:25 and recognize any and all questions that have come in through the Zoom meeting function. At the end of the session, if we are unable to answer any of the questions, we will then provide answers to you in email. Then finally, this presentation is being recorded and is available for you and any of your students or your colleagues off of the Imagine America website, www.imagine-america. So without going any further, let me introduce today's speaker, Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle?
Well, thank you all for being here. I'm sorry, excuse me, just a second here. So our agenda today, we wanted to address 3 issues. One is the challenges facing the workforce. The other is opportunities in the automotive industry. And then finally, Universal Technical Institute, our career pathways and what we wish to offer. First thing I want to point out today is the changing workforce that's upon us today. As you can see on the chart, in the early 1900s, and then on into the later in the 20th century, we were very much an agricultural manufacturing workforce. Today, that's just not true. We are now a very much service workforce. If you own a house, if you own a car, if you own a washing machine, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's so important to find service, find people that can help you with these things when they break down. A group of Boy Scouts numbering 150,000 were recently surveyed and asked, how many of you would like a skilled trades career? And a whopping 3% said they would love to have a skills trade career, which was kind of shocking. And even more shocking then was the same group was asked, how many of you would like a STEM career? And 45%, actually more than 45%, said they would love a STEM career and love to go into something like that. And there lies the disconnect right now in education. Kids do not understand that STEM is involved in everything. It isn't just for somebody becoming an engineer or a computer programmer or a rocket scientist, if you will. But even a further disconnect is the fact that educators are also missing this as well. We have to recognize that skilled trades involve STEM. For an example, with a carpenter, they better know how to read a ruler or a tape measure, or your house isn't going to be square. So it's very important. Right now, we have only about 20% of the jobs in the country right now require a bachelor's degree. But we also have another problem there too, and the problem is that we're pushing students into college at a 65% rate right now. And then almost half of those students that are going to school, going to the colleges like that, are coming out with a degree and they don't even need it. Or they have what we call, where they're not unemployed, they're underemployed, and that leads to disgruntlement among the graduates, and that they're disappointed because they're not getting to do what they really want to do, and even furthermore, they can't find a job. There's two ways to look at it. There's the old SMART and the new SMART. The old SMART, the first thing that we wanted to do was, you find the best school that you can find. Go to that school, then figure out what it is that you want to do, get that degree, and then come out the front doors with that degree in your hand going, here I am, world, hire me. And that's just not working anymore today. Right now, the new SMART is just done a 180 from that. The first thing we want to do is let's find out what the student's passion is. I love to use the phrase, your passion can be your paycheck. All of you out there, the one question we ask every little kid in the country. We ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we quit asking that question as they get into junior high and get into high school. So we need to find out what their passion is. Then we need to find out what kind of a program will get them to their passion. And then finally, what school will benefit them. Why send a student off to the university when they really want to be a diesel technician? So that is the new SMART today, and how we need to be thinking about education versus the workforce. The rule of 1, 2, 7. If you add 1, 2, and 7 together, it totals 10. And what that means is for every 10 careers out there right now, only one requires an advanced degree, which would mean a master's degree or higher. Only 2 require a bachelor's degree. And then 7 out of 10 only require a competency-based credential, which means they will have a diploma or a certificate of some type. Employers are looking for competency-based credentials. They want to know, what can you do for me? How can you help the business? Skilled trades, require STEM capabilities. I think we've pretty well put that to bed. Post-secondary education does not mean university for all. We try to use the word post-secondary education as opposed to using the word college, because when you say college, that pigeonholes everyone to thinking about a 4-year degree. And then, as I said earlier, competency-based credentials are what employers are looking for. The second part of the agenda, opportunities in the automotive industry. Today's automotive industry is STEM. Your cars are rolling computers. They have up to 100 million lines of code. We have cars now that have, have the ability to drive themselves. You know, we keep thinking that that's science fiction, but it's here. Honda has their Honda Sense. Different manufacturers have their different types of ways of doing this. Lane departure warnings, the lane keeping assist, the enhanced cruise control, all these type of things. You know, we have to have people to work on this stuff. So we're not looking for mechanics. We're looking for technicians. You know, it's predicted that, you know, first of all, we know there are 1.2 billion vehicles on the road worldwide. 260 million of those are in the United States alone. So there's more cars on the road than ever been before. And what we've predicted is that by 2026, we're going to need 1.2 million technicians. That's how fast this field is growing, and it continues to grow. Unfortunately, we're not closing that gap. It's widening on us. We have to fill this need. And then finally, Universal Technical Institute's career pathways. You know, Universal Technical Institute is a leading provider of technician training. We've had over 200,000 graduates in our 54-year history. We have 8 programs across 11 major metros. We have a brand new campus in Bloomfield, New Jersey that just opened up last August. We have established trip relationships with 3,725 employers, meaning that these employers will actually help students to pay back their student loans upon graduation. No, they don't hand them a check. They do it in monthly increments to help them pay back those student loans, or use it for tools or for relocation, whatever they may need to help them pursue their career. And at UTI, we say 4 out of 5 UTI graduates get jobs. And when we say that, we mean jobs in the field. We don't mean a job somewhere. We mean a job in the field. So we're very proud of that statistic. Our training programs: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR. We also have added recently our CNC machining and our welding. So we have very competitive programs that we're offering to help students to get the careers that they have the passion for. We have a national presence. You can see we have campuses all over the United States, with our newest campus, as I mentioned, was our last one there is our new campus in Bloomfield. The national presence is important for a couple reasons. Number one, you can just about find a UTI near you somewhere. Of course, in California, we have 3 campuses out there: our campus in Sacramento, Rancho Cucamonga, and then our Long Beach campus as well. But the other important reason for the national presence is it gives us a national presence with employers, so that if a student decides to go to school in California but then relocate in Pennsylvania, we're there too. Or if they want to relocate to Texas, we're there as well. So we can help students to pursue their passion no matter where they're at in the country. We have established industry career pathways with these over 30 alliances with manufacturers. And these are what we like to say the big dogs in the industry. At UTI, we're not preparing students to go to work for the Jiffy Lube or someplace like that, although they would have that option if they wanted. But we're preparing students to go to work for GMC, for Honda, for Chrysler, for Alfa Romeo, for Freightliner, these type of companies. This is who we're preparing our students for, and these are the industry partners that partner with us and help us in this training. One of the things I like to talk about is the college scorecard. In fact, that's been a major emphasis this year with all of the presentations that I've made across the country. I'm shocked that probably of all of the presentations I've given, only about 10% are even familiar with the college scorecard and what it does. The college scorecard first came about in 2013 after President Obama gave his State of the Union address. The Department of Education came up with this as a way to measure schools against each other. This is primarily set up for students, for educators, and for parents, so that they can make good decisions on the type of school that they want to attend. You can see, for example, we have several categories, and that's one of the beauties of this college scorecard, is that you can actually compare their side by side. So you can see we picked three schools, in counting UTI at random. We picked Darton State College, we picked George C. Wall State Community College, and then of course, UTI. And you can see the average annual costs, we're quite a bit higher than those other than the 2-year school or the 4-year school. But you also need to take into account the fact that UTI's program is 10 to 17 months. So we're pretty much done in a year, whereas these others are going to go 2 or 4 years. The graduation rate is something that is really eye-opening. The fact that we see that the graduation rate for Darton State College is 12%. For George C. Wallace, it's 17%. But at UTI, our graduation rate is 60%. That's actually 59% right now on the latest version of the college scorecard that just came out. And then salary after attending, that's another eye-opening statistic there. You can see Darton State, they're at $29,400. George Wallace, $24,008. Universal Technical Institute, $43,700, but the newest statistic shows us at $45,200. So you can see clearly there's some glaring differences between these, and this is something that educators and students and parents, especially parents, that they need to see this information. And it's real easy. This can be, all you have to do is go to collegescorecard.ed.gov, and you can access and look up any school that you want to. The other thing that we wanted to do was compare ourselves to other schools. So you're comparing UTI of Arizona. The reason why we picked that school is because that's what the Department of Labor recognizes in our statistics. But you see the doctoral universities, median salary $48,490, graduation rate is 62%. You can see UTI is right in there with them and the liberal art colleges. But you see the 2-year public colleges, where an average is $29,412 and a graduation rate only of 22%. So you can see quite a drop off there. Also, in comparing us to the top liberal arts schools in the country, we would be in the top 10. So we're very proud of that fact, of how we rate with other post-secondary institutions. Our graduate success stories speak for themselves. We try to use graduate successes as much as we possibly can. We love to take graduates in when we're giving presentations so that they can tell you, their experiences of what they've done, rather than us telling you, because this is coming from real people. And we have, like I said, we have over 200,000 graduates out there, so we have a lot of success stories. UTI is eager to help students with their financial needs. We are a Title IV funded school, so that means we do accept the FAFSA, so that students can get the funding that they need for those who qualify. We have over $15 million in sponsored scholarships. We also offer housing grants, institutional grants, to help students to get started and to help them. We also help students to get a job, a part-time job, while they're in school, to help them to meet their financial needs that they have while they're in school as well. And then, of course, the trip partnerships that I mentioned earlier, 3,725 employers, and that number continues to grow. And then we also offer third-party programs that can help in emergency situations, because life happens. You're the catalyst out there. It's so important. That's why we spend so much time with counselors across the country. That students need to understand the rule of 127 and where they fall in that equation. They need the real facts, and they're going to get them from you. All kinds of things are put on the internet, and of course we know they're all true. But the bottom line is they're going to come to you, and you need the facts so that you can convey those facts to them. You're the career catalyst. You're going to help them change their lives. How we help, we offer open houses. We offer tech nights. We do presentations in high schools. If you do not have a UTI rep coming into your school, please contact me or contact UTI, the campus closest to you, and we can make sure that a rep comes in your area. All of those are free. We never charge for those workshops. We help students with career pathways. We have a special workbook we use based off of Dr. John Holland to help students to explore their career pathway possibilities. And then, of course, while the rep is there in your school, they can explain about the scholarship opportunities and things that are available to your students. You can follow us online. through Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. We're all over the place. And of course, you can go to our website, uti.edu, to keep up on what's going on there. And then finally, I leave you with my contact information. The 479-252-0056 is my cell phone, and please call. It's on all the time, so please contact me anytime you want. Also, my email address is scoyle@uti.edu. Please, once again, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or concerns of any type. If you're wanting more information about UTI, or if you are interested in having a rep call upon your school district, you can contact me, and I can make sure that you get the proper information. So thank you all so much for allowing me to speak to you today. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much, Stephen. We appreciate it. Very quickly, I got one question, which I think is going to be restating. Can you do a cost comparison between attending UTI and a traditional community college or technical school? I think you put it in your one of your overheads, but could you clarify that a little bit, please, for one of our callers?
Absolutely. The average annual cost of UTI is, of course, once again, depending upon campus, from campus to campus, but, you're looking at average annual costs of anywhere from, $17,000 to $18,000 a year. Whereas with the community colleges, you're looking at an average cost of anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000 a year. But that's a little bit misleading in the fact that the community college, you're going to be there for 2+ years, whereas with UTI, most of our programs are completed in about a year, 10 to 17 months to be exact. So there is a cost difference there, but we also, because the alliances with the manufacturers and our trip employers, we offset that cost quite a bit by the fact that students can receive so much help upon graduation. We found that throwing money at students or offering them a free education doesn't always work very well. As you can see, with the graduation rates are pretty low with some schools, but we feel like offering something at the end, a goal for them to work for, is much more beneficial.
We had two callers asking what we're going to be doing with the presentation. Just so we're clarified, we will, once we compile this webinar, we'll be sending it out via email to each and every one of you if you want to use it in your presentations to your students, or simply give it to the student for them to, or the parent to look at. Finally, put you on the spot a little bit. Final question, is there a open house scheduled coming up in the Los Angeles or Southern California area that you know of, Stephen?
I am not sure. We just had a national open house just about a week ago, and so the individual open houses, I don't have information on that at my fingertips. However, what you can do is you can contact the campus that was close to you. Like I said, we have 3 in the state. We have Sacramento, we have Rancho Cucamonga, and we have Long Beach. And so if you would contact that campus, they can give you information, because we have open houses, we have tech and career nights all the time as well, and that changes pretty often.
Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate it. That wraps up the questions that we received on our end. We, on behalf of the foundation, want to thank each and every one of you, of the participants, the counselors, for taking time out of your very busy schedules to listen to Stephen's presentation. We would encourage you to contact Stephen directly through the contact information he's given you. And also, if you have any additional information we can provide you, please go to imagine-america.org and you can contact us, and we will be sending you this particular presentation via email for you to be able to use in the future. Thank you again, Stephen, for your outstanding remarks, and let me thank Lee Doubleday on my staff for all the hard work he's done. As I sit here, I want to thank you all again and say goodbye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.